Hello everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation. We'll be exploring Mega Goal 1.2, specifically Unit 11, titled, If It Hadn't Happened. This session focuses on language in context and conversation skills. Over the next few minutes, I'll guide you through the key concepts and practical examples that will help you understand how to use language effectively in real-life situations. So, let's get started and dive into this interesting topic. All right, let's take a closer look at the picture. What do you see here? We have a seagull, a crab, a shell, a jellyfish, a sandcastle, and a starfish. These are all things you can find at the beach, right? They're part of what makes the beach such an interesting and fun place to visit. The seagull is often seen flying around, searching for food. The crab is scuttling along the sand, sometimes hiding under shells. The shell itself is usually found washed up on the shore, and the jellyfish drifts in the water, sometimes close to the beach. The sandcastle shows how people enjoy building and playing in the sand. And the starfish is just one of the many fascinating creatures living in the ocean. So, what do you think? What else might you find at the beach? This is a great way to start thinking about all the different things that make the beach special and full of life. Have you ever found something strange on the beach? Maybe an unusual object or something that just didn't quite fit in with the usual shells and driftwood. These surprises can really catch our attention and make us wonder about their origins. Today, I want to explore why these mysterious finds are so intriguing and what they can tell us about the environment and even about ourselves. As we go through this presentation, keep in mind how unexpected discoveries like these connect to the bigger picture of understanding our natural world and the stories the Earth has to tell. Let's talk about some fascinating stories behind the messages in bottles. First, how much money did Jack receive? It was over $6 million, which is quite astonishing. This story really highlights how these messages can lead to incredible discoveries. Next, we'll look at Daisy Alexander, who sent her message on June 20, 1937. This date helps us understand the historical context and the era when these messages were sent. Now, have you ever wondered who actually wrote these messages and when they did it? Well, in many cases, like Daisy's, it was ordinary people reaching out across time and distance. The message was inside a bottle, which served as a makeshift vessel for their words. Moving on, what did Jack Worm find? He was walking along a California beach when he stumbled upon a bottle with a message inside. That moment of discovery is what makes these stories so captivating, finding a piece of someone else's life from decades ago. Finally, in 1949, something significant happened related to this story. Although I won't spoil all the details now, it shows how these messages can remain hidden for years before revealing their secrets. All of these points connect to our overall theme, how messages in bottles serve as a window into the past, connecting us across time through stories and surprises. Let's take a moment to clarify some common words that might come up. First, a hoax is simply a joke or something meant to deceive, but not in a harmful way. An attorney is a lawyer, someone who gives legal advice and represents clients in court. When we talk about an estate, we're referring to all the money and property that someone leaves behind after they pass away. Confusion, on the other hand, means being unclear or not understanding something fully. And finally, aimlessly means doing something without any real purpose or direction. Understanding these words helps us grasp the overall message of this presentation, especially when dealing with legal or estate matters. Also, I want to highlight the significance of the figure 333,000. This could be the amount involved in an estate or a legal case. Keeping these key points in mind will make it easier to follow the bigger picture and see how everything connects. If I had found the bottle, I would have built a new house. Imagine that, using the opportunity to create something new and personal. Or, if I found the bottle, I would have traveled around the world. That's a dream many of us share, seeing new places and experiencing different cultures. Another possibility is that I would have bought a new car, perhaps something special or luxurious. It shows how different people might value different things based on what they find in that bottle. Now, I want to ask you, if you had found the bottle, what would you have done with the money? It's a fun way to think about our own desires and priorities. This slide ties back to the overall theme of possibilities and choices, how we imagine what could be, based on the opportunities we encounter. So the reason he got fired was because he tends to be irritable and abrupt, especially when he's under pressure. It's really a matter of how stress affects his behavior in the workplace. Even though he loves his job, that didn't prevent him from losing it. It's a reminder that passion alone isn't always enough if other aspects, like managing stress, aren't in check. Now, he's really uncertain about his future. He doesn't know if he'll be able to find another job soon, which adds to his anxiety and uncertainty. Interestingly, his boss was very demanding, which made things tough for him. Ultimately, he decided to resign, thinking it was the right choice at the time. But now, he's reflecting and wondering if he shouldn't have resigned after all. It shows how difficult decisions in stressful situations can sometimes lead to regrets later on. Overall, this story highlights the importance of managing stress, understanding how behavior impacts career stability, and how tough workplace demands can influence major decisions. Now, as we look at these words, should've, would've, could've, they really capture the essence of reflection and the lessons we learn from the past. These are phrases we often use when we think about what might have been, or what we wish we had done differently. It's important to recognize that these thoughts can be powerful, but they can also hold us back if we dwell on them too much. Moving on, the words have. These emphasize the importance of taking action now. They remind us that rather than dwelling on what we missed or could have done, we should focus on what we can do today. It's about shifting our mindset from regret to opportunity. Finally, we see should, would, could. These are all conditional words that highlight possibilities and potential. They push us to think about what's within our reach, what we should do, what would make a difference, and what we could achieve. Connecting these points back to our overall theme, it's clear that while reflecting on the past is valuable, the real power lies in what we choose to do moving forward. These words serve as a reminder to be proactive, to focus on the present, and to embrace the opportunities we have now. So, what does he regret? That's a question we often ask ourselves when reflecting on past decisions or actions. In this case, we're trying to understand his feelings and regrets. You can see that regrets often give us insight into what really matters to someone, highlighting their values and priorities. Now, looking at this picture, what can you see? Take a moment to observe the details. Maybe you notice the person's expression, the setting, or the objects around them. These visual clues can help us understand what he might be feeling or thinking. Let's read the picture together. As we do, think about the story it tells. Sometimes, images speak louder than words. They can reveal emotions and stories that words alone might miss. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding his regrets and interpreting this image helps us grasp the importance of reflection and awareness. Recognizing what we regret can guide us to make better choices in the future. And analyzing images like this encourages us to look deeper and see beyond the surface. Now let's take a closer look at Faisal and Ibrahim. Faisal wishes he had taken a course in business management. This highlights a common theme: regrets. Many people look back and wonder what could have been if they had made different choices. So, what exactly did Faisal wish for? He regrets not investing time in learning business skills earlier. It's a reminder that sometimes the decisions we don't make can shape our future in unexpected ways. In their conversation, they're discussing regrets, things they wish they had done differently in their lives. These kinds of reflections are quite relatable, aren't they? And who's involved in this conversation? Just two people, Faisal and Ibrahim. Their exchange is personal but also universal, showing that everyone has moments of regret. Now, when we talk about big numbers catching attention, think about the scale of these regrets. How many people might feel the same way? It's a reminder that these feelings are more common than we might think, and understanding this helps us connect with our audience on a deeper level. Let's take a moment to read the words on the slide and understand their meanings. This step is really important because grasping these key terms helps us better comprehend the overall topic. As we go through each word, I'll explain what it means and why it's relevant. Remember, understanding these definitions is crucial for applying these concepts effectively in real-world situations. So, let's focus on these words, connect them to what we've already learned, and see how they fit into the bigger picture of our presentation. Let's take a moment to consider these different perspectives. Ibrahim here is saying, "Who says?" which indicates a challenge to conventional thinking or assumptions. It's about questioning the status quo. Then he continues, "I had my mind set on," emphasizing determination and focus. Ibrahim is clearly committed to his viewpoint. Now again, Ibrahim repeats, "Who says?" highlighting how persistent this questioning can be. He then mentions, "breathing down your neck," which suggests pressure or the feeling of being scrutinized, perhaps by critics or competitors. Faisal enters the conversation with, "Who says?" and encourages us to go out into the world. This is about taking action, stepping beyond comfort zones, and applying what we've learned. Finally, Ibrahim questions, "Who says?" followed by the idea that big numbers catch your audience's attention. This is a crucial point. Large figures or impressive data can be powerful tools to engage your audience and make your message memorable. Overall, this slide underscores the importance of questioning assumptions, staying determined, embracing external pressures, and leveraging impactful data. Key elements that tie into our broader theme of effective communication and persuasion. So what did she actually say? Well, the phrase might seem simple at first, but then I left, but it carries a lot of nuance. It's about making a decision to step away from a situation or a mindset. The next part, get out into the world, emphasizes taking that leap, moving beyond what's familiar or comfortable. Interestingly, there's a variation. But then I left, got out of the world. That suggests a more radical change, almost a complete escape from previous constraints. And then, the repetition reinforces this idea, leaving, stepping out, and embracing the broader world. This ties into our overall theme of growth and transformation. Sometimes, you have to leave behind old patterns to truly find your place in the world. It's a powerful reminder that change often begins with that initial act of leaving. So what did she actually say? Well, if you look at this slide, you'll notice 3 similar phrases but with slight variations. The first one is, "Stop breathing down my neck, Sharon." Then, slightly different, "Stop breathing down my neck, Sharon." And finally, "Stop breathing down my neck, Sharon." The key point here is how small changes, like a name, can significantly alter the tone or perception of a message. It highlights the importance of clarity and consistency in communication, especially when addressing sensitive issues or giving feedback. This ties into our overall theme of effective communication, making sure our words are understood as intended. Sometimes, a simple mispronunciation or misspelling can lead to confusion or even conflict. So paying attention to these details is crucial in ensuring our messages are clear and respectful. So when someone says, "What did she say?" it often shows that there's some uncertainty or maybe confusion about what was just communicated. Then you might hear phrases like, I have something on my mind, or I have something in my mind, or even I had something on my mind. These variations reflect different ways people express that they're thinking about something, possibly needing a moment to gather their thoughts before responding. The key here is understanding that these phrases indicate a mental process, someone trying to process information or prepare to share their own thoughts. It's a common conversational pattern that helps us recognize when someone is momentarily distracted or considering what they want to say next. Connecting this to our overall theme, it's important to see how these expressions are part of effective communication, acknowledging what others say and being aware of when someone might need a moment. Recognizing these cues can help us foster better understanding and more thoughtful conversations. Ibrahim's journey shows us how education and hard work can really shape our lives. He went to college and earned a master's degree, which opened doors for him. Then, he got married and had children, building a family and a future. Today, he works diligently, and because of his efforts, he's able to provide for his family and ensure they have what they need. Faisal, on the other hand, feels that he might have made a different choice. He believes he should have listened to his parents and gone to college too. Specifically, he thinks taking courses in business management could have been beneficial for him. This highlights an important point about the value of education and choosing the right path early on. Faisal's reflection reminds us that our choices can influence our future, but it's never too late to learn and grow. It ties into our overall theme about the importance of making informed decisions and investing in our own development to achieve stability and success.